So whereas StreamYard before, and I was complaining about it and then we quit using it, was $800-900 a year, is now going to be between $400 and $500, whatever that math works out to. Is that my signal to jump back into StreamYard to allow me to do all these other things that I'm wanting to do with my channel? If the goal is quitting my job for YouTube at the age of 50 and not just one but 5 channels, and StreamYard is a tool that I am going to need to have, is this the time to go ahead and do it? Because it's not going to get any cheaper. How much am I willing to bet on myself that I can get this to work out? Episode 2 of the series of quitting my job at the age of 50 for YouTube. I know it sounds crazy, but not only are we doing this, we've done it. We're in the process of doing it. And I'll tell you, we've got some decisions to make today. So I just wanted to come on here so you guys can kind of help me out. So the big discussion that we're going to have today, and I just made a post about this about a month ago, that my main streaming software that I have used before, Streamyard, and I was using that for our podcast, had raised their prices to the point to where it was some crazy number like $900 a year to use StreamYard from like $400, $450. I don't remember exactly what the actual price was. And I had 2 years to where they actually had cut me a deal. And I think I was spending about $250 for their top plan that they have, which include like the 4K local recording. And the thing I love about StreamYard, it's very intuitive, very easy to use. When they raise those prices on there, I had to make the decision to try to do what I do in different ways. One was just using QuickTime to do a lot of these videos, but I had to kind of cut off doing the interviews with everybody else or having other people in the stream with me. Very easy to use. I think it works very well, but it's not worth $900. So I didn't have $900. Plus, I had started the famous job that I just quit back in September of last year of 2024. So I didn't have a lot of time to continue with doing the podcasting, making content for the various channels that we have. I literally a month ago, I made a short here saying that StreamYard had priced out so many customers by upping the price up to, like I said, $800, $900 for their advanced plan, again, so that you can do 4K local recording, a whole bunch of other stuff that comes with it, and which is why I don't use StreamYard anymore. So just got an interesting email late last night from StreamYard to where they're offering 40% off. It's funny how this stuff works, right? Just turned 50 this year, tried to, phone just fell off its holder, tried to do the part-time job, work with other people. We talked about it in the first episode as to why I had to get that part-time job as kind of a backup insurance in case my wife lost her insurance for medical coverage because she had been going through breast cancer treatments, very expensive, and we're concerned and still are concerned. We're always looking over our shoulder, not only for the cancer to come back, which that's something that we try not to talk about, but it's something you have to address as adults. But you're always constantly looking over your shoulder for your job, especially these days to where there is no loyalty that goes any which way or whatever. Companies aren't loyal to you. You should not be loyal to your company. Our main concern was what happens with her medical if they were just to determine that she's just too expensive. Her cancer is too expensive and they'll figure out a way to get rid of her. So I'd make the decision back in September. I'm going to do a part-time job to where if I needed to, I can probably hop into some full-time position to where the place that I'm at has really good insurance, really good benefits. Problem is, I can't do it anymore. So I made it almost a year, and I let my boss know, who I've got a great relationship with. I said, look, I can't stay here much longer. I'm done. But because of my relationship with you, I'll stay here as long as you need me to until you guys find somebody that can come in as a better fit for what you got going on here. It's personality, a people management issue that I have, and I'm just not good with it. I put in enough effort, and it's getting worse and worse. So I just have to remove myself from it, just simply because I'm a guy that likes to figure out how to fix things. I'm a guy that likes to try to determine, okay, what's going on, what can we do to fix, address, improve, and I've tried that, and I've come to the point to where it's not it there's nothing else I can do. I'm the very lowest of the low, position wise, blue collar job. There's not much more I can do. So my thing is, look, this isn't working out. I got to go. So not this, and this whole series about quitting my job at 50 for YouTube isn't about negativity or hanging on the negativity of that job. And quite the contrary, I'm kind of glad I did it because it's a very humbling experience when you're 50 years old after you've done so much through your life to where you had to go out and get another job, get a part-time job, something to where it's something you've never seen yourself in that position doing that kind of stuff ever, right? Very humbling uh, position to be in. But you do things as an adult because things just need to get done. You do things as a husband, as a spouse, that you have to do it for the family. So I did it, gave it a good try, didn't work out. So this thing with StreamYard, it's really coming at a perfect time because we're setting up this whole kind of network that I have here to where we've expanded what I was doing on the Tossing Salad podcast channel to where I was talking about all different types of topics, right? We were interviewing all sorts of different people. And it mainly came from my experiences within the gardening circles for 10 years, where I built those channels up within gardening. Got kind of bored doing that stuff. So I kind of shut all that down. So we're transitioning from that garden persona that a lot of people know me by and all the content that I used to do, but I still want to be able to do and talk about things with all sorts of different people in different subject matters. And so the problem with that is when you're creating a YouTube channel, that's all fine and well if you're a super popular person. People know you and will follow you, and they want to see you talk about different things. Uh, I Most of us are not that person, right? So when we go to subscribe to a channel, when we want to go and listen to people, whether it's a podcast, it's a channel, it's a show, you want to kind of know what you're getting into. Like for me, I know how I like to consume my content for when I'm getting ready for bed, when I'm driving or whatever. There's times where I'm like, I just want to listen to uh, or watch people cooking and doing recipes, food reviews. That's all I want from them. If they're doing all these other things, I'm not subscribing. No matter if they have good content, that other stuff I'm not there for, right? So realizing how I consume my information as well. I want super niche type channels that if you're producing content that I like and want and need, I know what I'm getting into and you're going to get my subscription. You're going to get my following. I have to kind of take a step back and look at my main channel and say, okay, look, what can I do to continue what I'm doing, but make it easier, make it better, a better user experience for people that are coming, that are interested in certain things that I do or certain people that I talk to. And so that's the idea of coming up with the 5 channels. I'm not only quitting my job at 50 for YouTube for you for one channel. We're doing 5. And on the surface, I just talked to a friend of mine, Julie, the other day. She is back in the gardening realm. And she's like, 5, geez, that's crazy. Not in so many words, but you're reading between the lines, right? And yes, it does sound crazy that you're quitting your job at 50 to start 5 YouTube channels. But for me, it's more of an organizational thing if you think about it. I'm not really changing up what I'm doing, but I'm packaging it up differently. Does that make sense? So that's why my main channel is now being changed into a hub channel. So Tossing Salad Podcast is now the Tossing Salad Podcast Hub channel. So it acts kind of like how it always has, in a sense that anything that I'm doing, talking about, people that I'm talking to, everything's going to that channel. Well, The four main interests that I have: DIY, sports, food, and eating, and like entertainment. So it's like music, vinyl, records, video games, stuff like that. Those are going to be split up into their own channels to help people like myself that are like, look, I'm just into DIY, Brian. I'm just into the entertainment brand, like the DVDs and the music and stuff. Or I'm just into sports or just into the food. Well, now you can just follow and just follow that type of content. What makes it all easier? And yes, this is a very long way to get back around to StreamYard. StreamYard makes that really, really easy. Because I had even thought about, man, if I'm doing an entertainment channel, TSP Total Entertainment, and we're getting into gaming, we just did a Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing. We're getting back into gaming, handheld gaming, which I've been out of forever. I want to start streaming some of the games that I play. I'm going to start meeting some other people that are doing things. I want to make it a true community where we're playing together, talking about stuff while we're playing, but I don't have the functionality to be able to do stuff like that just yet. I'm looking into it. Again, I'm learning as I go. And I've told you before, I'm the type of person that I love this aspect of where we are, to where I'm jumping into the pool without learning how to swim yet, and I'll figure it out when I get there. So I'm going to figure out how to do streaming with the Nintendo Switch. One of the keys to that is an app, program, software, website like StreamYard. I think I need to buy an Elgato 4K capture card, which is all more money that I have to find a way to find a way to come up with the money to buy so I can invest in what we're doing. Because I'm serious about this. Yes, I am still technically with my job, but the the indication and the acknowledgement with my boss is like, the second you find somebody, I'm gone. And my mental health has been so good ever since that point, because you just don't care. Nothing that goes on at work now that would bother me before. Any of these people, I'm just like, you don't even register on my top 100 things that I'm thinking about this hour. And that's like even when I'm there. So StreamYard for, and I believe the only deal you can get is if you pay for the full year. So that comes out to $41.39 a month. But for the yearly price, what is that? $40 times 12. I don't know. It's under $500. I'm terrible with math. So whereas StreamYard before, and I was complaining about it and then we quit using it, was $900 a year, is now going to be between $400 and $500, whatever that math works out to. Is that my signal to jump back into StreamYard to allow me to do all these other things that I'm wanting to do with my channel? If the goal is quitting my job for YouTube at the age of 50 and not just one, but 5 channels, and StreamYard is a tool that I am going to need to have, is this the time to go ahead and do it? Because it's not going to get any cheaper. Trust me. So am I jumping back in at, let's just call it $500, and you have to pay it all right then and there? That's going to be the problem. But that's going to be our next episode, because I am going around the house. My step number 1 right now, even though I'm still getting my paychecks from work, that's coming to a close. So my main thing right now is I'm going around the house, and I've got my tote, my little plastic bin. I'm finding things all through my house that I can sell. That's going to be my first thing. So I'm not going to buy like that Elgato card that I need. I'm not getting it until I can sell something to make that money to do it. That's $250 for the card that I need to basically capture my gaming. I don't have enough time to come up with $500. I mean, I can try right now for the streamer, because I think the sale ends this Sunday. That's going to have to go on the credit card. So how much am I willing to bet on myself that I can get this to work out? That's what it comes down to. You can come across all these friends, family members that you have in life. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to do YouTube and make, do some money." And yeah, okay, buddy, whatever. Sure you are. That's the attitude that I get all the time. And I understand, I get it. But being in the position that I am, I have to learn how to tune out a lot of that negative energy, a lot of that energy that comes at me that is like, what? You're not going to do this. I got to tune that out. And now it's going to come to what I bet on myself. The initial thing is I've quit the job already. That's betting on myself because there's no turning back. If there's nothing that's going to change to where I'm going to be there much longer. I mean, it's my relationship with my boss to where I'm still there. But that's not an unlimited buffet here of hours for me to work there. They're going to have to drag somebody off the street, hopefully without like a police report or something, that clean background, try to replace me. It's not my issue now. Well, it's not my issue for the short time being, but it will be if this process is going to take a long time. But that's my first investment in, I have to make this work now. If I do StreamYard for $500, you better believe that I am contacting everybody that I can that can co-host shows, that want to do content with me, that want to do interviews. I'm going to be doing that for every one of my channels. That's how it works. I have to hold myself accountable. If I'm going to do this at 50 and quit my job, I have to hold myself accountable. And the plan is, and it's not a hard number to reach. It's not a hard number to reach to do this for YouTube. I don't have to basically pay the house, the mortgage, all of that stuff that we have. I just have to replace what I was making on my part-time job. That is what I'm holding myself to. $1,000 a month on YouTube. Then it's going to have to come pretty quick. So we got to get these 5 channels monetized. With that, first step for all of them is to get to that 500 subscriber mark, which slowly is happening as I'm producing content for each one. And it is hard to kind of split my attention among the 5 channels, basically the 4 channels, because the hub channel just captures all of it. But the ones that I'm really putting in the time and effort on right now, the DIY channel, the entertainment channel, I'm seeing some really good feedback on that. We're seeing steady growth every single day. And I'm not going to be bringing in money once we get to 500 subscribers, but that's the first step. That's the first step that I need to get to start unlocking some of the monetization things on YouTube. So if you guys are doing this also, I would love to hear from you. Whether you're 50, 60, 30, you're in your teens and you're thinking about doing this, and you're just starting out, or you've been doing this and you're kind of struggling or whatever, join me right now in a sense that let's talk about it. Let's share some information. Let's help each other do this, because it is possible to do. And I'm just now scratching the surface. I'm getting better and better at all of this stuff that I'm doing, thumbnails, editing, all that stuff. I'm learning as I go. Is it hard? Yeah, kind of. Do I have a background in a lot of this stuff? Yeah, sure. That makes it a little easier. But networking with the right people, watching other people's content, other people that show you how to do things, makes it so much easier. So I will have another episode coming out really quick, because we have to sell some stuff. So we're going to go over all the things that I find, and then we're going to try to guess how much money we're going to make off of that. And then I'll let you know by the next episode what we did with StreamYard. So, all right, we'll see you.